what do not a specific solution for one thing, but a solution for civilization doing better look like? I, of course, read the work of people and also had the fortune to talk to a lot of people that had spent their life thinking about these things and working on them, and would ask their analysis. And I got so many answers that sounded like this. At the end of the day, whenever somebody uses a phrase like that, at the end of the day, or the key is, you can usually expect a reductionist thing to come next. Not always, but sometimes you want to pay attention to that. At the end of the day, really the thing we have to shift is the economy, because perverse economic incentive is under the whole thing. There's no way that as long as you have a for-profit military industrial complex as the largest block of the global economy, that you could ever have peace. There's an anti-incentive on it as long as there's so much money to be made with mining, et cetera. Like, we have to fix the nature of economic incentive. And I'd be nodding. I'm like, this makes perfect sense, right? And then somebody else would be like, the core of the thing that we have to address is education. Because you can have so much change occur in a generation if those children are growing up different, as different as it is learning Chinese as your first language versus learning English. We're so neuroplastic. By the time we're adults, we're not that neuroplastic. We're kind of screwed. If you get education right, we want adults who care about the animals and the oceans and can tend to all of these things and can think complexly. If we really get education right, we'll be able to solve everything. It's upstream from all that. And I'm nodding. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. And then somebody else would be like, no, really, the thing is, it's about media, because we're continuously being bombarded. And that was before social media. Then it was social media. We're being continuously bombarded, and we are ready to go do a Capitol riot or a George Floyd protester riot or whatever it is based on the stuff that's coming in. If we could change the media environment of what people were intaking, it would change all of these things. And someone else like, no, the thing is, really, at the end of the day, it's about government and law, and how do we get that right? Because the economic incentive wouldn't be that same issue if we could govern it properly. If we could force the internalization of the price of carbon and get carbon pricing properly and get costs of everything proper, all that would be fixed. But we have to do that through law. So how do we fix governance and law? And then somebody else would be like, you can't, because law is written by lobbyists that get paid for by somebody, and wherever the economic motive is what's going to pay for that, which is why you have to think about economics and law together. So the key is political economy, and how do you get that? So, and on. People would say, no, really the key is actually parenting. What we've really got to do is restore the family, because before education, by the time that kid goes to school at 5 or 6, that so much of their identity and psyche and value system is already set. It happens early on. We have to actually change the entire culture to have parenting emphasize raising better kids from the beginning. And what I came to learn is they were all right. Right? Somebody else would be, everything you're saying is so anthropocentric. The key is the fucking environment, because we're none of us are anything without the environment. Like, you have to prioritize that. Everything else doesn't matter that much. And what is an economy? Like, we can breathe without money. We can't breathe without air. And so be less anthropocentric and focus on the integrity of the environment, because that's upstream from everything. And so what I learned was the answer to all of the problems is all of the solutions. There is not a theory of change. There's an ecology of theories of change. It's so often when someone says, what is the solution? It sounds like someone saying, like, what species is the forest?